Hi there. So today we're going to talk a little bit about what it means to be the strong one or the one that everybody depends upon. It's a role a lot of us can find ourselves in and not even quite sure how we got there. It does tend to happen to women a lot. Sometimes girls are raised or socialized to be the caregivers in a family environment, the ones that nurture, the ones that take care of things, the ones that get things done. Not to say that men don't have those roles as well, but I think it is something that is socialized into females in particular to be nurturing and caring and in tune with the needs of others around us. So, what can happen with that is suddenly we become, the one that everyone depends on. So, when we're shuffling kids around or, stopping at the grocery store to figure out what we're going to have for supper, or, maybe the one that checks in on our parents or our siblings to make sure everybody's okay, we can get a lot of validation from being helpful and good. I think oftentimes that's why we do get so enmeshed in these roles is because we get validated, we get praised, we get recognized, and it can feel really good to be the one, that people turn to when they need support. The problem, of course, with that is who do we turn to when we're overwhelmed or we need care or we need a soft place to fall on? Because when you become known or seen as the person who's the helper, the one that can take care of things, the one that gets things done, we kind of build it up in ourselves that we're the strong ones. We're the ones that take care of others. So we're not supposed to fall apart or need help. And even when we do, sometimes the people in our lives might not know what to do with us if we're the ones that are used to being strong and suddenly we're emotional or angry or frustrated or upset. People can react strongly to us in a way that may not make sense. It's like, I'm here for you when you're sad or when you're upset. So why can't I have the same thing in return? But I think that role reversal can be really confusing for the other people in our life and almost like it makes them feel a little uneasy. If you're not okay, then I'm not okay. So it just creates this really big dilemma, frustration. Sometimes it's unspoken. I'm talking to you about it in this video, but I think a lot of times that general feeling of anxiety or unease that people bring to therapy is just this feeling of like always having to be on and not being quite sure why we're feeling stressed or just not happy or content. I do think a lot of times it does connect back to this theory of having to be there for everybody else and just never having an off switch where we get to really recharge or lean on the people that we expect to take care of us too. So it can get really complicated because even when we recognize that we're struggling, it can be hard to change those patterns and change those roles. We might feel guilty that we can't do it all. We've prided ourselves on being strong or being good at organizing or taking care of things. So when we can't do it, we internalize it much more strongly as a failure of our personality or of who we are than somebody else might. And it can be hard to turn the tides to accepting help. I think that's what stops a lot of people from going to therapy sometimes is therapy's for people who need help. I'm not somebody who needs help. I'm the one that helps everyone else. Even for people like me who are therapists, I think we fall into that trap or pattern. Like, why can't I figure this out? And I think what my answer to you would be as a therapist, it's like a surgeon doing their own surgery, right? Sometimes we just need that space to be seen, to be validated, to be held, to be supported in a safe, non judgmental space. Yes, I may have some knowledge about how to help other people with things, but it doesn't mean I'm going to be effective at managing my own mental health and care needs. And I might need that support and sounding board as well. We can feel quite isolated and quite lonely when we are the ones that are used to holding the emotional or physical load of caregiving and taking care of others. Because I think also my experience in motherhood or sisterhood and friendship, there is this perception of, we're supposed to love this role all the time. And being sort of the matriarch of a household is something that people speak highly of or well of. So when we're starting to struggle or feel like, but I'm tired, I'm burned out, I'm exhausted, I just need a break, it can feel like we shouldn't verbalize what we're actually experiencing because that's not what anybody else is saying. Everybody else is doing okay, although they're probably not. So I think we have a lot of this like chaos, almost for lack of a better word, around um, being the one who takes care of things and holding things together, often at the expense of our own mental health. So, I guess what I really wanted to convey in this video this week is just around, carrying everything on your own doesn't make you um, impermeable to needing help yourself. Like, I think, in fact, we probably need it more than anybody else. And we're sometimes the ones that don't take the time to get ourselves to therapy, or, it doesn't even have to be therapy, to, the dance class or, the garden or the library, wherever we like to go and spend time. We tend to put our needs last. So, I think it's important to recognize that being capable doesn't mean carrying everything on your own. Being capable means recognizing when you need support too, having the courage to ask for help, and knowing where to get it.